So BMW have just claimed that their electric vehicles will very soon be class leading in every single facet. Performance, range, style, just everything. You won't want anything else, except you won't be able to drive them. That's a bit of a problem. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you. My name is Sam Evans. I'm coming to you from Melbourne in Australia. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to our Patreon supporters. Really would not be here without you. Great to have you. YouTube members, thank you too. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter or a YouTube member, I'll put the links in the description below. And as always, 2023, it's going to be an incredible year. BMW claims it will put them into the stratosphere of electric vehicle leader. We've heard that from someone else recently, haven't we? Who was that? Was that Joe Biden or Mary Barra? I mean, I don't remember, but I remember them saying that, Mary, you did it. You did it, Mary. General Motors, you're number one. And the irony was, in that quarter, I kid you not, in that quarter, General Motors produced one Hummer EV. So I guess they were number one, sort of. And they produced 26 electric cars for the entire 3 months of that year. Now, that's not really true. They did actually produce in their tri-venture with state-owned SAIC. Funny how no one seems to have an issue with that. And of course, with Wuling, the car company who basically makes them. Wuling and SAIC are the brains behind them. And General Motors provides a fair bit of the cash. Now, BMW, they're making a lot of claims, right? I think their EVs are decent, the new ones. Now, they do make some that are straight rubbish. They really do. And I've made videos about them. I don't know why no one else has. It's very strange to me. The 3 Series in China, why you would buy that? The thing is, literally it weighs nearly 2,200 kilos. In other words, 4,500 pounds. It's no bigger than a Tesla Model 3, which weighs 1,800 kilos. In fact, a bit less than that. I think it's about 1,750 on average. Meaning, right, what's that? 3,600 pounds. Basically, the Model 3 is probably around about 800-900 pounds lighter. So, clearly, that vehicle is not that great. The reason is because it was manufactured, and it still is manufactured today, using a gasoline-powered car. They just take the engine out, or don't put one in. They take the transmission out. There's still a transmission tunnel, but no transmission in there. That's not class leading. And I think BMW is aware of that, and they want to make some improvements, some big improvements. Now, however, they're dealing with an even bigger problem than all that. BMW's entire electric vehicle lineup has been recalled for a loss of power. A recall has been issued for faulty battery software that affects every single BMW electric vehicle sold in America, including the 4-door coupe, the iX SUV, and the still fresh i7 luxury sedan. And on the day that I saw this news, I saw a lot of BMW fans saying, Tesla, bad quality, rubbish cars. You'd be crazy to buy one of those cars. Yeah. I've owned a BMW. I wouldn't exactly say they're reliable. In fact, my turbocharger for my old BMW, it blew. The car only done, seriously, 57,000 miles, and the turbocharger blew, and I wasn't even driving hard. It's an SUV, a BMW X5, made in America. By the way, I think it's a decent car, but still, reliability, quality, yeah, I wouldn't say it was the last word for either of those two. However, the high voltage battery electronic control unit, or the ECU software, could interrupt electrical power, and the temporary loss of power while driving on a possible stall could increase the risk of an accident, and BMW will be keen to resolve the issue as quickly as possible, they say, because right now their EVs are sort of semi-bricked, so not looking great. Anyhow, this follows a recall of the iX earlier in 2022 for a faulty airbag control unit shortly after it was launched. It again raises question marks, says Car Scoops, about the reliability of BMW's high-tech EVs, despite them having fewer moving parts than their equivalent internal gas engine counterparts. Now, BMW, to be fair, it is a new technology, electric cars. BMW would say, no, that's not true. We've been making the i3 for many years, but that was a very small number of cars, a very small number of those actually produced. was expensive. It was, to be honest, it's probably the key reason why the electric vehicle revolution took a long time to take off, because of cars like that. Now, it wasn't entirely BMW's fault, because battery technology was ludicrous, excuse the pun, ludicrously expensive back when the i3 came out. The costs of batteries have gone down enormously since then, about a factor of 8 to 10, depending on who you believe. But the point is that evolution, those improvements never ever stop. Now, BMW is saying that this follows a recall of the iX and that those cars should be fixed pretty soon. The high voltage battery recall was published last month, and it affects 2022-2023 i7 and iX models manufactured between October 14, 2021 and October 28, 2022. If you've got one of them, I suggest you take it to your dealer. A total of 14,086 of these are said to have been affected, but only 38 of that number are for the i7, which was the most recent of the 3 models to go on sale. By contrast, 5,400 iXs and 8,660 i4s were implicated. Here's what BMW had to say about it. Tesla are at fault. It's Tesla's fault. Hang on a minute. No, that's not the meter. Sorry, it's BMW. A misdiagnosis can sporadically occur within the battery management electronics, which could cause the electronic control unit to reset, eliminating and exterminating its passengers through the use of lethal gas. Sorry, I just added a bit in there accidentally. Just ignore that. Germans don't use lethal gas anymore. Don't just ignore that. I didn't say that. Now, if a reset occurs, this could cause an interruption of electrical power, meaning the car would completely lose power, and it could be a little bit dangerous in that situation. BMW said it is aware of any accidents or injuries related to the issue, but affected owners can expect notification letters to be mailed by February the 10th, 2023. Dealers will then update the high voltage battery ECU software at no charge. Despite a few reliability stumbles, which, strangely enough affect everyone making EVs, especially those using nickel-based chemistry batteries from, LG Chem. Yeah, unfortunately, it's true. Now, despite that, BMW's electric range is rapidly increasing. And in fact, its electric cars doubled in Q4 of 2022 last year, which is an excellent result. The brand sold more than 15,000 EVs in the USA last year, more than Mercedes did. And it's aiming for 15% of total sales in the US this year to be fully electric. That's a pretty good goal, I think. It's going to start with the arrival of the i5 electric sedan later in 2023. Now, I don't personally think the solution here is to make a ton of different models, especially when you're a relatively smaller company like BMW. Now, yeah, they're not small. They still do make around 2 million cars per year, but that's not huge. In my opinion, they need to focus on their bread and butter. Focus on the models that sell really well. Electrify those, and everything else will come along, hopefully. Now, despite a few reliability stumbles, customers do still seem to trust the brand, and they have a pretty loyal following. And on a global scale, the arrival of smaller electric SUVs like the iX1 will further boost its EV sales, even though America is expected to miss out on this model. That's pretty disappointing. Sorry, Americans. If I could help, I would. Now, this was actually reported a few days ago, and interestingly, it was barely mentioned by the mainstream media. Let's be fair here. If this issue had occurred in Tesla vehicles where they completely lost power and every single one of them ever sold in America was in that basket, well, not every single one of them, but every single one of them sold in the last 2 years in America was in that same basket, this would be a huge scandal. I'm not sure why, but for BMW, no one said anything. Any ideas, anyone? Please. I'm a bit baffled by this. It's a mystery. Let me know the reasons in the comment section below, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.